But you see the breaking news on your screen right now. Associated Press confirming an internal email sent by Kimberly Cheatle to those in the Secret Service announces her resignation. This a day after that she was really a verbal punching bag on Capitol Hill, Dana.
Well, and she came to Capitol Hill with no answers to some very basic questions. And the calls were not just coming from Republicans for her to resign. There were many Democrats who felt the same. And you kind of have to wonder, she said the buck stops with her, that she would be the one who would answer the questions. She wanted to be as transparent as possible. She was not. And so I do think that this became something that was inevitable for her. It was a bipartisan call for her. Not everybody, but I mean, you had enough Democrats saying she should resign. In fact, we started the show with Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota, who also thought she should be gone.
She could be compelled to another hearing. We just don't know when. She might resist that, but we'll see how that fight goes.
All right, y'all. Now, before we get to the video, please put prayers for Donald Trump in the comment section. We must protect President Trump at all time. I told y'all I'm not going to stop. We're going to get to the bottom of what happened at that rally. And we got news, as y'all can see in the beginning of the clip, is that Kimberly Cheatle finally resigns, especially how she got demolished in the hearing yesterday. Nancy Mace went off on her. MTG went off on her. Byron Donalds went off on her. And now she has resigned. And then this right here, this information came out yesterday. Now, this was coming from Benny. He said that, did Trump assassin meet with the feds? Bombshell cell phone data reveals mysterious DC trips. And see, the thing is, Kimberly Cheatle didn't want to answer any questions. Now this cell phone data came out. She's trying to resign because she don't want to answer questions about the information that's just been found in this cell phone. And she wouldn't answer any of the questions that they tried to ask her yesterday. She didn't want to answer anything. She kept putting everything to the FBI. And we can't trust the FBI. We see what they did at Mar-a-Lago. So was the feds working with the shooter that tried to take out Trump? We're about to find out. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with everything that's going on. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into this, man, because this right here is crazy.
Guys, your boy Benny meets Thomas Crooks, the assassin and Joe Biden donor who donated to a left-wing Get Out the Vote organization on the date of Joe Biden's inauguration, who went to Allegheny Community College, who's 20 years old, whose parents are counselors, and that's about all. He appeared in a BlackRock ad, and then we know nothing else about him. No social media footprint, no photos of him online other than his driver's license photo here, and no manifestos, nothing. Just a blank slate. Isn't that convenient? Isn't that convenient that somebody who's such a blank slate would have the capacity to elude the Secret Service, get into a prone sniper position, and take 7 shots based on all available data at the president, murdering one of the president's supporters, and nearly murdering the president, lodging a bullet through his head, and a miracle that Trump lived, and then sending 2 other patriots, MAGA supporters, to the hospital. How did this 20-year-old elude the greatest protection agency in the world? Well, people are beginning to ask very odd questions about the history of Thomas Crooks, because it seems like he has a little more of a complicated past than we thought. The government wants you to think that he's just acting alone, the lone assassin, political motivation. Well, if that's the case, then somebody's going to have to answer some really tough questions, like why were there people who work right next to the FBI visiting Thomas Crooks' home a dozen times over the last year? So, can somebody please explain that?
Wow.
If that seems shocking to you, let me introduce you to the Oversight Project here of the Heritage Foundation. Assassination Info Drop. We found the assassin's connections through our in-depth analysis of mobile ad data and tracked the movement of Crooks and his associates. To do this, we tracked devices that regularly visited both Crooks' home and his place of work and followed them. Oh my.
Wow.
What did we find out? We found out that Thomas Crooks was regularly visited at his work and also at his home, a building in Washington, D.C., located in Gallery Place. This is the same vicinity as the FBI. Whose device is this? Somebody who visited Crooks's home and work was also in D.C., right here, in a place called Gallery Place. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Washington, D.C., let me show you. This is Gallery Place, Chinatown. This is the metro stop right here. Green, red, and yellow line. Here's Capital One Arena, where sports teams play, like the hockey team, right? Here's the National Portrait Gallery. This is a Smithsonian. And right here is the FBI. Well, this is strange. That's just like probably a 2-minute walk from right there to right here. It's a block and a half away. Seems really close to the FBI.
It does.
Not trying to jump to any conclusions here, but this location right here is exactly where you'd set up a meeting if you were the FBI, if you wanted it to be close to your office, and if you wanted to speak with the Trump assassin. That's very strange. So let's continue. Another device linked to Crooks visited Plymouth, Massachusetts. Wow. Why would they visit there? We found a device linked to Crooks that traveled to Butler, Pennsylvania on July 4th and July 8th. The device stopped all activity on July 12th, the day before July 13th, which would be the assassination date for Trump. So this device was scouting out the location, clearly, to kill Trump. On August 30th, the device linked to Crooks visited Allegheny Arms, where he bought the ammunition to kill President Trump. Here, the relevant locations within Bethel Park, Pennsylvania are both and all linked to Crooks's home and place of work. You can see his school, his work location, home location, Allegheny Arms and gun works. Well. For those who are tracking this type of data, we identified devices that were located at Crooks's home or at his work within the past year. There are at least 9 devices linked to these IDs. We're willing to cooperate with legitimate investigations for further information. We protect the whistleblowers of our investigation will not be shared further information with Congressional Task Force due to the connective tissue between that entity and FBI and U.S. Secret Service. If you have further information. So wait a second. So somebody who regularly visited Crooks and his home and his work also visited a building in Washington, D.C. What is this?
Wow.
Exactly. Really, really strange. Mobile data reveals somebody regularly visited Thomas Crooks, also visited a building near the FBI office. Worth asking some questions here. Why are we getting more information from the Heritage Foundation than we are from our own FBI or our own Secret Service?
Exactly, because a lot of times that right there makes you feel like they trying to hide something. So now we ain't gonna jump to conclusion because we don't know, but this is kind of sketchy. That's why we was waiting on them to release the cell phone data on like places he visited. Now we see where he bought the ammunition at to try to take out Trump. We see somebody been visiting him for the longest. So like I said before, it's going to be more stuff coming out because we have to get to the bottom of this. Like I said before, yes, Kimberly Cheatle just resigned, but still though, Nancy Mace says she's still going to probably more than likely bring her back for questioning because she was still in charge. So Kimberly Cheatle is trying to resign so she don't have to answer these type of questions. Because you remember yesterday, at the hearing, she wouldn't answer anybody. She kept leading everything back to the FBI. They doing their investigation. She didn't want to answer anything, and she knew the answers because she said she talked to the FBI. So the questions that Nancy Mace and Marjorie Taylor Greene was asking her, she had the answers, but she didn't want to tell nobody. So like they asked her at the hearing, what are you hiding, ma'am? You are hiding something because you won't tell us anything. And like I said, she don't have to say anything. The truth is going to come out, and we're going to find out what happened to President Trump. We're going to find out. We're going to find out all the details, who was behind it. Was it an inside job? Because with This woman, Kimberly Cheatle, not answering any questions yesterday. Like, it was like simple question. Wasn't even hard question, just simple question. How many people was there? She wouldn't even give him a count. What was the person's name? She wouldn't tell him. So she has to be hiding something. And we're going to find out.
Director Kimberly Cheatle, who just lied.
Yep.
For 5 straight hours.
Yep. Straight lie.
On the dais.
Yep.
In Congress. A person who regularly visited Trump assassin's home, pinged by a cell tower within 500 meters from the FBI headquarters a year before the assassination attempt. What does this device belong to? Did the FBI meet with this person? Geofencing Thomas Crooks' home, you're able to track the phones that visited him. Crucial work because we cannot rely on the FBI to conduct the investigation.
Nope.
I witnessed firsthand how the FBI headquarters in Washington, D.C. protected foreign nationals who control American election software and sent out our election data overseas. They prefer to have geopolitical rivals managing America's election administration. The FBI operates as a political hoax machine aligned with the Democrats and the establishment. Truth transparency will only come from private citizens, and whistleblowers so important. The plot thickens, says Dinesh D'Souza. The FBI has some explaining to do, says Kyle Becker. Another device associated with Crooks, detected in Massachusetts, and it stopped all activity on July 12th. Well, what do you know? Turned off his phone. Sneaky bastard. Really quite alarming. Who are these devices? You know, the federal government knows, actually. Interesting. Heritage Foundation conducting a parallel investigation of the Trump assassin. Already more transparency than what the FBI is telling us. That's exactly right, says Mike Benz. Man, we are in crazy times.
We are.
I think that the reason the Secret Service director has not resigned is because something horrible has happened to Joe Biden, and you wouldn't be able to get an appointment for a new Secret Service director out of the way. Of course, you got like interim directors.
Ain't that kind of crazy that? So with Kimberly Cheatle resigning, you know like I said, the bad thing about it is that how can the Secret Service allow a 20-year-old to outsmart them? How can you have somebody like Kimberly Cheatle, like in control, the head chief? How can you have somebody like her in control, but yet the Secret Service is supposed to be the most smartest in the world when they come to their job, and you let a 20-year-old outsmart them? And they put their eyes on him an hour before President Trump came to the stage. So what are they hiding? They knew about this threat. He had a rangefinder. Why would he bring a rangefinder? He was walking around, just looking around. Come to find out he flew drones. And they allowed this to happen to President Trump, which Nancy Mace said that, you know, Kimberly Cheatle could go to jail for this. She could. It's possible because she wouldn't answer any questions yesterday. Like the American people, we don't know what's going on. We was expecting her to tell us something yesterday, and she failed to do so. And now she resigned this morning. So the thing, even though she resigned, she should have been fired. She shouldn't have had to resign herself. She should have been fired. But Joe Biden, he don't fire anybody from his camp. He don't fire anybody. And it's just crazy.
And stuff. But with Joe Biden, you wouldn't be able to get a new Secret Service director appointed because Joe Biden is incapacitated completely right now. This is why you haven't seen him in a week. Have you seen Joe Biden?
Nope.
Can somebody post a photo of Joe Biden holding up a newspaper with like today's date on it? This is incredible. There's a guy named Eli Crane. He's a Navy SEAL sniper from way back in the day, Afghanistan, Iraq. And he knows a thing or two about taking shots, let's just say, and how to do some proper sniping. And here he is on the rooftop where Thomas Crooks was able to get his shots off, saying, yeah, guys, like anybody could have taken this guy out. And they didn't. So why?
Up here on the building where the supposed sniper took his shot. It's not that steep at all. Just had a 70-year-old man back here climb up on the roof easily. See that water tower behind me? Had Secret Service or anybody had sniper teams up there, this guy wouldn't have made it 5 feet up this roof. He would have been taken out. Behind me, you see the windows that Secret Service was supposedly in the second floor of this building behind. Makes you wonder why they weren't able to quickly dispatch the individual. And then behind me, back over here where those red roofs are, that's where the stage was set up. That's where the president was giving his speech from. A lot of questions here in Butler, but we look forward to doing oversight and getting to the bottom of it and making sure it never happens again.
Incredible.
Ain't this crazy that, like, they literally could have seen him right there and could have got him? You telling me wasn't nobody in that room to see him just laying on top of that roof? Then she tried to say it's sloped. That roof ain't really that sloped. Kimberly Cheatle was just lying. Lied to the American people. Lied to Congress. And that's why Marjorie Taylor Greene, that's why everybody in there that spoke to her straight went off on her. Because she's sitting up here lying and won't give us the answers. She knows the answers and won't tell us anything. And you tell me when nobody in that building, nobody seen him just laying up there crawling, trying to get in position to shoot at the president. I mean, come on now. Something has to be done about this. Hopefully they bring Kim Cheatle back in for questioning because she thinks just because she resigned, she don't have to answer any questions. What she's trying to do is she's trying to get out of it so she won't be the one that tell everything. So that's why she just said, you know what, I'm just going to go on and resign. That way I'm out of it. It'll be put on somebody else and I ain't got to answer anything. That's why she resigned. But Nancy Mace said this morning on the Benny Show, we might subpoena her again for some more questioning. So she ain't out of the loop yet.
Look at this. Look at this video that he posted. This is the video from Eli Crane, and it shows the sniper nest for the Secret Service. So this was allegedly where the Secret Service was, and this was the rooftop that Thomas Crooks crawled across. Army crawled for like 30 minutes. They had eyes on him for like an hour. And he crawled across this roof and got into position to shoot President Trump. President Trump obviously right there by the red barns. If you're even remotely familiar with the assassination video, you can see, you know exactly where these red barns are. Here, ladies and gentlemen, we'll play the original video. So you can see there, that's where he sat with his firearm, and you have the red barns right there, and this is the view from the Secret Service to shoot at him. Why didn't they shoot? Why the hell you can't get an easier shot?
That was an easy shot.
Duck hunt. What are you doing? What's going on here? That's really, really creepy stuff.
It is.
This is the clip of the day. Marjorie Taylor Greene asking the real questions here. Is there a conspiracy to kill President Trump in the federal government? Who gave the stand down order? Oh, baby. Here it is. Here it is. Creepy new information. Got to have these questions asked and answered. See ya.
No, you knew that everyone knew. The people there knew that there was a danger. They knew there was a threat to President Trump, and it was allowed to happen. Was there a stand-down order, Ms. Cheatle? Was there a conspiracy to kill President Trump?
Absolutely not.
Then how did this happen? And why are you still sitting here not turning in your letter of resignation?
Last question, but please answer, and then I'll recognize Ms. Presley. Please answer the question.
That is what we are investigating to determine.
We're waiting for your letter. We're waiting for your letter of resignation, and you really need to consider doing that before you leave today.
Chair now recognize Ms.
Wow,
Presley.
boy. Marjorie Taylor Greene don't be playing around. So obviously we see like this bombshell cell phone data. We seen the little view where he was on the roof and the Secret Service had an easy shot to take on this shooter before he shot and hit President Trump and 3 other people. They could have prevented all of this, and they let it happen. Like I said, Kim Cheatle don't want to tell who gave the stand down order, who let this person shoot Trump and somebody else in the crowd, who gave the order. It's like, I mean, these questions have to be answered. They have to be answered. But like I said before, Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.